I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now. I'm on my way now.
If you are planning to visit Coron here in the Philippines, odds are you're coming here to do one thing. That's to go island hopping.
And chances are you're going to be staying in Coron Town. Now, when we tried to do some research, we couldn't find out that much about it. So today we're going to explore. Some of you will know that we've been to a lot of beach towns around the world, from the Caribbean and Mexico, Central America, South America, and here in Asia. We find this one a little bit more rustic than we expected, but it has a certain charm and authenticity to it.
So the first thing you're probably going to notice here are these tricycles that you see behind us. I think they're called tricycles.
I'm assuming. I've never heard anyone say tuk-tuk, so I'm assuming they're tricycles.
Yeah, so anyway, that's basically if you want to just zip around town within, I'd say probably anywhere 30 minutes from town or within town, tricycles is the way to go. And I think later we're going to take one of those guys to some hot springs. There's some hot springs here. All right, so we found the town sign here down, I guess it's on the dock, on the waterfront?
Yeah, but yeah, if you want to get your Coron, I am Coron photos, this is the place to come, right down on the water.
Well, it's pretty beautiful down here on the waterfront. It is a bit windy, but look at those boats, huh?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure this is what you're going to take if you go out on an excursion. We're actually going to do that tomorrow, so our next video will be an excursion video, so we'll actually find it for good. But one of the places that you're definitely going to go to, that is actually Coron Island over there. They have a few major things there. There are a couple of lakes, but again, you'll have to stay tuned for the next video to really find out.
All right, so let's talk about how to get here. Now, what we can tell you is how we got here. We took a flight from Manila. So basically it was a domestic flight from Manila to get to this island. It's called Busier, I believe is how you pronounce it, but again, the whole area is kind of referred to just as Coron.
Yeah, and if you're coming from El Nido and doing that first, you can either fly from there, which I think is a pretty short flight, or you can take a ferry, which takes, I think, about 3.5, 4, 5-ish hours, depending on the weather. So we've just come over to a place called Epic Coffee. If you are wondering if there's good coffee here, there is. We got an iced latte. Look how big this is. I love the glass. They also do not have any plastic straws. I haven't seen any on the island, so maybe they're banned. I haven't seen any plastic bags as well. But there were some amenities that we just didn't know about before we got here. We read a lot of things like that ATMs are pretty scarce and you should stock up on cash before you come. We have actually seen like maybe 5 or 6 ATMs here at least, so I don't think it's been a problem. We haven't tried to use them because we brought so much cash, but I'm pretty sure you should be fine if you wait till you get here. If you're wondering about accommodations, we've actually stayed in 2 different places here, and I'd say they're both around like a 3-star mid-range type hotel. Nothing over the top, service isn't anything exceptional. In both places we've had a few things that didn't quite go as planned, like one place the fridge didn't quite work. The place that we're staying at now, the AC isn't quite as good as it should be. Just stuff like that, don't expect perfection. I think there are some luxury hotels here on the island, but I don't think they're in town. I think they're pretty far out. As far as restaurants go, there seems to be a lot of options. We're actually quite surprised at how many things that are here. This street that we're on right now, I see a sign over there that says Real Street, so if you're looking for it, that's what it is. There's a whole bunch of things. There's this coffee shop, they have food here as well. There's a little deli behind us, but they also have a pretty big menu. There's a restaurant next door that has some Mexican and I think some local favorites as well. There's sushi nearby, there's ramen, and of course there's lots of Filipino food.
I don't think we really talked about the coffee yet. We should do that because we do like places that have good coffee, so. That's a good iced latte. Not a plastic straw as well. I think it might be bamboo, so good job Philippines with no plastic, but really good coffee. But there's some other things I wanted to mention as well. One being Wi-Fi. That was our biggest concern coming in here. You guys know we work for ourselves and we upload these videos, and we heard the Wi-Fi was terrible. And for the most part, it's pretty off and on is the best I can say. However, there are a few restaurants, especially right around this strip, that have rocket fast internet, so we can come down here and get work done and even upload these videos as well. The other thing is cell reception. So we bought a SIM card the minute we got to the Philippines in Manila. We paid about 25 Canadian dollars for 30 gigs of data, and LTE is blazing faster. I think when you get out of town, it's a little slower, but in general, it's really fast, so we can hook on our phones whenever we want to get on the internet. So we're all set. We were worried about that, but Wi-Fi's pretty good, and LTE cell phone SIM cards here in the Philippines definitely work.
All right, coffee is finished. The plan now is to see if we can grab one of these strikes and head out of town. We hear there are some hot springs, and I think it's about a 20-minute, half-hour drive.
All right, so we are on our way to the hot springs now, and it costs, I think in general, it's about 500 Filipino pesos, which is about 10 USD.
10 USD, and that's both ways, and I think they'll stay and wait for you for about 2 hours, something like that.
However, some will try to charge you more, and just so you know, you can barter with almost anyone here, so we got it for a little bit less, and they're usually pretty good about it, but we heard it's going to be a bumpy ride. You probably can tell it is so far, but the scenery is pretty cool, and it's a colorful little rustic town, as we said, so we're excited to get to these hot springs, though. We hear they're supposed to be pretty great. All right, so we made it here. The cost to get in is about 200 Filipino pesos. I believe that is about $4 US. As we said, it took about 30 minutes to get here. Pretty rough ride. And now that we're here, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of folks here. It's midday. I have a feeling most people come maybe later in the day when it's a bit cooler, but yeah, let's go check it out.
Here we are. This is actually way prettier than I expected. I just saw some photos online and it didn't look that interesting, but it's really, really pretty. In person, there's like one big pool basically, and then some smaller ones off of it. There's a little waterfall, and it's mid-afternoon, and there's maybe like 30 people here. It's not crowded at all. All right, the feet are in the water. It's hot for sure, but not like crazy hot. It's like bath water basically. So the wind is actually really nice, because otherwise I think it would probably be too hot, but it's gonna be like keep us cool, but we can still go in the hot water.
Officially in. I know Anna said it's like bath water, but I'd say it's hotter than bath water. It feels like a hot bath actually, which is kind of fascinating. Here's another thing about this. It's a saltwater hot spring. I don't think we said that yet, and there's not too many of those in the world, I don't believe anyway, so it's quite beautiful, I have to say. We did read some things saying we need water shoes on down here. There's rocks in the bottom, but it's not so bad. It actually feels nice. It's kind of like a little massage on your feet. But so far, we're digging it here.
It's definitely hotter once you get in, but it's kind of an odd sensation because my brain just automatically expects it to be cool. It's like I can't quite figure out where I am. It's a really, really odd sensation. But it's interesting that, as we said, it's salt water. I usually think of hot springs as being up in the mountains somewhere, but the ocean's literally like right there.
We are back in town and now out of breath because we are slowly climbing. How many stairs did you just tell me?
721.
So we're doing that because the sun is going down. It's supposed to be an amazing sunset spot where we're going, but we got like 500 more stairs to go. I think we just passed number 200.
I'm already out of breath.
Okay, we're about halfway. I'm absolutely drenched. We still have another like 350 steps to go. I will tell you, it's nice that it's all stairs. Like everything is stairs. There's been no dirt paths. However, you're gonna need to be in like moderately okay shape to do this, I think, because there's a lot of heavy breathing and it's just a lot of work, but it's gonna be worth it. All right, well, you'll be happy to know we made it up here.
We survived. It was a tough climb.
Very tough climb, and you can see the sign behind us. It says Coron. When you're down in the town, you can see that's kind of neat.
Yeah, they light it up at night too.
Yeah, but we are very hot. You can probably tell just by how much sweat is on us right now. Also, we have to mention the view up here is quite spectacular.
It's amazing.
You have like a kind of a 180 panoramic view of the gorgeous water here and all these kind of rolling mountains. It's quite spectacular.
All right, we have made it to the very, very, very top. It's really, really windy up here. We were gonna fly the drone, but probably not a good idea. However, the view is pretty epic. This way you can actually see Coron Island, which we've mentioned before. We're gonna do an excursion on a boat. We'll definitely be heading there.
Well, it's just about at golden hour here. It's looking absolutely gorgeous, but there's one thing we didn't mention. There is a enormous, giant cross up here that you cannot miss.
You can't, and you actually can see it from the ground. Same thing with the Coron sign. It's all lit up at nighttime, but it's pretty epic when you're up here. It looks huge.
Yeah, we were going to also mention that there's not many people up here. I'm
maybe
kind of shocked.
50 to 75, something
Yeah.
like that. And yeah, there's tons of space. It's great.
All right, so we just came over to the other side of the mountain here. Not very far, just like another minute, but we found more people. So everyone's just kind of sitting here, chilling out, waiting for that sun to go down. I think we got maybe 20 minutes left, but yeah, the vibe is just really cool. It's really chill. Well, I think we're just going to leave you guys here and just take in this stunning sunset. It's absolutely breathtaking up here. If any of you guys are watching that are thinking about traveling here, we do hope that you found this video helpful. We had a tricky time finding out some of this info today, and here we are, and we just feet on the ground, and well, we found out a lot. And if you're just watching for fun, we hope you enjoyed the video.
And if you got this far and you're like, who are these people? My name is Anna, this is Trevor, and we are the Delightful Travelers.
What a place though. We are extra excited because from up here we can see all the islands, and if you're coming to the Philippines, it's likely you're going island hopping, and that's I think where the beauty's at, and the people of course are just extra and oh so friendly. But now that we're here and we're a couple days in on the islands, we're extra excited to go out and explore more of them. And in the next video we're going to be doing just that. We're going to Coron Island, and if you haven't watched the last video, we were eating some yummy street food.
Oh, we were. I totally forgot what we were doing last. We were in Manila eating food. Good.
And that was delicious.
All right, guys, that's it.
From Coron Town, wishing you delightful travels.
See you soon.